who do you wish to target with your games? Do you wish to target like the mass U.S. market or just hardcore gamers, the German hobby industry, or basically all three? Do you have a certain one that you aim to please almost?
Again, there I'm wide open. I think I can myself learn the most by looking into very different types of games. Over the last years, I've done a lot of children games, and they have taught me not only about children and the games you have to make for them, but also about family games and adult games. Because I think it's very fruitful to just see different ways of playing, and I don't want to drill deeper and deeper into one hole. I want to essentially widen my experience and have very different types of games. I think my main target is the family and adult games market, not really the insider hobby market, more the general public. However, general public, if we look about the German market, is probably much more experienced with games than, for example, the American market.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, I agree with
That's very true. Just wondering, you mentioned that there's a lot of new innovations that you can at least conceive of in games, and yet every game I play for the past probably 15 years, I look at it and I say, well, there's something similar there. I can point to another game that went before. Is there really anything unique out there to be done? I know you said there is. I was just wondering if you could expand on that.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, of course, we are playing games with similar materials, and there are lots of card games, and there are lots of board games. And of course, in a board game, there's always a board. So there are lots of similarities. But what I also expect from a game is, and that's one of the expectations towards myself, is to have something new in there, some innovative new approach, which justifies the game to stand by itself and on its own, and to really represent it to the playing audience. It's also, I mean, about innovation, it's an interesting point because particularly in Europe and again, in particular in Germany, where the press is very, very strong and very powerful with respect to games, they call a lot for innovation. However, if you look at reality, if you have a game which is too innovative, the reaction of the people often is, oh, that's something I'm absolutely not used to. I have difficulties getting into it. So you need to find a balance between some innovation, but not too innovative, because otherwise you frighten the people.
Well, at least in Germany, though, they're willing to try something that's a little bit different. Here, if it doesn't, if you can't collect 200 when you pass go, I fear that the game is doomed.
Yeah. You know, I've been thinking about innovation in games a lot because you're probably aware that I have been doing a Lord of the Rings game, which will come out at the end of the year. And I had, for the first time actually, the big task of facing an enormous book with lots of details in there, with a whole world in there. I mean, The Lord of the Rings is a fantastic piece of literature, of course. And how do you transform that into a game without killing the players with all the details, but also staying close to the book? I think I have designed a very innovative game system in principle, how to address these epic types of worlds. And I like it very much, but I'm very excited to see what people think, and I think we'll have a lot of discussion because, as I say, innovation is something where some people will like it and some people won't like it. And I'm really excited to see what people make out of this.
Well, Reiner, that's the one thing. Drew and I were talking that would be the last question we ask you about The Lord of the Ring, because everybody has been asking me, when I said, what should I ask Reiner? They said, we want to know more about that game. When is it coming out? Is it going to tie in with the movie? And on and on. And can you give us any idea of when you expect it to be released?
Yes, it will be released in Germany first, and that will be in October this year. It will be at the Frankfurt Book Fair, and the week afterwards, right in Essen. It will be released by Cosmos in Germany, but the licenses have also been sold in many other nations, and there will be an English-speaking edition as well, which will only come out at the beginning of 2001, so far before the release of the first of the three movies, which will be end of 2001.
Okay, and who in this country, do you know who has the rights to produce it?
Yes, I do, and I think I'm allowed to say that it will be Hasbro.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
Well, that's surprising to hear. I'm sure.
Under whatever trademark, I don't know which labels they put on it because they operate under many labels.
I wouldn't be surprised if it came out under the Avalon Hill trademark.
And as I say, I don't know that.
That is tremendous information
yeah.
because that ensures the components should be good. And I assume you've played other games from the Lord of the Ring or not?
Not very much, actually. I have a lot of friends around me who are real enthusiasts and know all these games because I did know very few of them.
Oh, okay.
My impression was that many of these games just pick up certain aspects of the game, mainly battle aspects. And one of the big tasks I wanted to fulfill is to stay very, very close to the book in spirit. And I think the spirit of the book is not about fighting. The spirit is more about the constant, shall I say, conflict between good and evil, and also about personal growth. It's about the fellowship, it's about partnership, it's about risk and doing something for the world, giving a positive impact on the world.